It's been a while, Mrs. Woolsey.
Mrs. Woolsey.
Yeah, I'm on the wrong side actually.
Are you? Do you want to switch?
Yeah, let's just switch sides. Yep, typical. Yep, typical fashion right here. Wow. Welcome back to the LFG 1904 show. Guess what? Live action. Today's topic, new sponsor, new house, new life. What else is new? New garage, new epoxy floors.
No epoxy floors.
We can say that. Well, we can say that. We can say that.
Gray.
We can say it's epoxy. Nobody's going to know. Now they know.
They're going to come over and be like, where's the flakies?
Well, no, you can do epoxy without flakes.
Everybody will know that there's not epoxy on
Nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to know. But first off, I'd like to introduce my new sponsor, Shark Law Motorcycle Attorneys. And man, I had a good time. They flew me out to Born Free, California, and it was nice. Born Free, California is such like you want to be seen there. Mm-hmm. I really wish I would have set a booth up because I swear, man, all of our friends that were, out there making money, like it was busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, super busy. So thanks for letting me go. I appreciate you.
Anytime.
Good job.
Anytime.
Is there anything that you want to talk about?
No.
Really?
There's not like anything specific.
What's the point of you coming on the show then?
I mean, what do you want me to talk about?
I don't want you to talk. Well, first of all, I don't own you. I mean, you can talk about anything you want to talk about.
Did you already tell everybody like how we ended up here or no?
I mean,
I thought you talked about it with Taylor on your podcast.
I mean, a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, not into detail. I mean, that's really. Listen, I think that'd be a perfect segue and like topic to go into because we haven't even really announced anything. Everybody thinks that we still live in Florida.
I know.
They think we're nut jobs. They're like, damn, you bought a house in Florida, and now they don't know the whole story, I guess. Because we in our podcast that we did together, it was just like, we're moving to Florida.
I know. We were like gonna buy a house in Florida.
We're moving to Florida.
Well, I don't know if we were gonna buy a house in Florida, but we were like, I don't think we had any other ideas or plans, that's for sure.
Well, we just wanted to get out of California.
We just wanted to get out of California.
And
isn't it crazy to think that like we literally left California with just no plan but to like move to Frank's and live in our trailer? I just think it's crazy when you think back to it.
Yeah.
You're like, we sold all our stuff, packed up all of our stuff in the
toy hauler. You need to talk up. Like, this is not quiet time.
Well, is it up? Is that good?
Yeah, we're good, but you can't be whispering.
I don't think I'm whispering about our kids are asleep up
Doesn't matter. We're podcasting, baby. Welcome to the LFG house, dude.
Okay.
Come on. Like, what are we talking about here?
I just think it's so crazy that we were like, all right, well, we're just, like, we literally didn't have a house. Like, we just moved to Florida, bunked up at Frank's and Katie's.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like, we had to, like, obviously go explore, too. I mean, we went to a lot of places.
I feel like I was just getting used to Florida.
Yeah, well.
And I was like, all right, cool. Like, we were going to the beach every Sunday. I mean, we were savoring it. Yeah, we were doing it because we knew we were going to move.
Yeah,
where there was no beaches.
Yeah, towards the end, we were doing there often. So it was a really good time. I do miss that part of Florida for sure. There's some things that I miss about it, but, I just don't think it was for me. And I didn't really like the way people, they're just rude and honking at you. Like you think you're going like that far south, you're going to be like in Southern hospitality, and it's not that.
No.
Now, when you
Florida's full of New Yorkers.
When you go to which there ain't nothing wrong with that, you know what I mean? Like,
there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying it's full of New Yorkers. There's a lot of New Yorkers there.
Here's the thing. If we would have probably found something in Panhandle, we probably would have made it work.
I think so too. I think I would have moved to the Panhandle. But I think also, like, we talked a lot about how it was too far. It's too far from everything.
It is.
It's far. It's a lot. That's a lot more driving. Like, you've gone to Kentucky once. You're going to twice. You've gone to Kentucky twice now, and you're going to Nashville. You know what I mean? I feel like, that would just be like such a trek from Florida.
Yeah. So where we were living at in Tampa, 50 minutes north of Tampa, it was 4.5 hours just to get to the upper states, and that was it was a lot, for traveling. And I haven't really traveled that much. I haven't really been doing that many shows this year. Online sales have not been where they're at just because of the move and, getting drops. And I'm just really glad that now we're going to get the shop all dialed in too. By tomorrow, we're going to be fully up printing again. So, shout out to 1904 Print Shop. If you guys ever need anything printed, give your boy a holler.
We have a hand press too.
I never even friggin' plug myself ever.
I know, you don't. It's really sad.
Never.
You never plug yourself.
Yeah, dude, all you construction workers out there, you know what I mean?
The print shop isn't just for LFG. It's literally its own business. And
its own entity.
Dustin Screen prints for many companies.
So I think let's just get right into it. God damn, this room echoes.
Mm-hmm. There's no rugs in here.
Yeah.
We need some rugs.
It is what it is. We're echoing.
We need some rugs.
This is the first podcast in the first house here. Or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first house. Nope, it's not the first house.
The first house was Lakeside.
You want to so here's the deal. Let me just get right into it. We always speak truth anyways on the show, Mm-hmm. Elise didn't even want to go to Arizona Bike Week.
No, I did not.
This is how far back we're going to go now. So
this was April, the end of March.
And I'll tell you what, moving with your family and moving away from family, moving with family, and a dog and a cat and everything, like it was very stressful.
It was very stressful.
I mean, it almost broke us.
It almost broke us.
For sure. And it was very difficult. And there's a lot.
Yeah, I think I just wanted a break from you a little bit. I thought maybe that would be better for us. So I was like, you just go and I'll stay here. It's too stressful. We had just moved across the country and then you wanted to go back across the country. Literally back. I went back to California within 3 months of moving.
I know. Well, that's just how it goes though, in what I do.
Yeah, 100%.
It really is.
I hope we can continue to travel.
So, by the way, shout out, dude, to Taylor Bradshaw. So, him setting me up at the Hideaway. I'm sorry, the Roadhouse. We're Roadhouse Hideaway, whatever. And did some great podcasts there. And what a fantastic show Cave Creek Bike Week was. So, anyways, at least
I literally was never there.
Yeah,
not one time.
At least didn't even want to go. And I really had to talk her into it and say, hey, you can go visit your mom. You can go do all these things. We're so close. We're 5 hours away. We only have one truck, but you could take the truck and I have the motorcycle. It was a fucking whole thing. But I just it was just something telling me we just needed to go,
Yeah, he super convinced me hard because I was on a hard no. I was not going. I was staying in Florida with the kids. I did not want to travel that far with the kids again. And he pushed it until the point to where we didn't know what we were going to do with Moose. I couldn't bring him. I could have, but it would have been a whole situation. And then I said I could ask Frank, and you were like, no, I don't want to ask him. And then Frank offered.
Yeah.
And that's how kind of I ended up going because if we could have.
Yeah, the dog.
The dog.
The dog, yeah.
Yeah. So we left Moose in Florida for a month. Poor guy, I missed him so much.
Yeah, and so here's the deal, right? We've been looking at this house in Tennessee for months.
Lebanon.
You know what I mean?
Outside of Nashville.
Yeah, it was we were looking at this property for months. And this story is cool. This story is I'll just get into it. So we go and we're traveling back from Arizona. We stop at my mom's house and visit with her. Mm-hmm. And we end up staying the night in the parking lot, as we do in a Walmart parking lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we go into the trailer and camp out. And we were in somewhere in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And man, I just remember when we woke up that morning, I've never experienced fog in my entire life as bad as that was. That was wild.
It was really foggy.
Wild. These things that you just don't experience when you're living in San Diego, like the weather and just different.
Different. Just different.
It's so different. Yeah. So we get through that. It's all good. And we cross over to Arkansas. I don't know what it was. I think it was probably you were hungry or something. And you looked up a Chick-fil-A.
No. You got off the freeway on your own.
Oh, okay.
literally got off the freeway on your own
I needed
because you were
gas.
looking for gas.
Yep, I needed
You
fuel.
passed like 3 gas stations and turned a corner, and Chick-fil-A was right there. And I was like, should we just get food? Like, it was basically lunchtime. And you're like, yeah, whatever. Let's just go into Chick-fil-A.
So mind you, too, this was the last exit in Russellville, Arkansas. Last exit. Like, if you would have passed if I would have passed that exit, it would have been the next town over. And this story we
would have stopped in Morrilton.
Yeah, this story would have not even been happening. So anyways, we pulled over. We go to a Chick-fil-A. I got fuel. We got some food, and my friend Frank that we were living with, he calls me. So I park in a parking lot to where I could not get all the way into Chick-fil-A. So I had to park on the outside parking lot, and Frank just happens to look at my location, and he was like, either you're broke down, because I guess I was next to a Harbor Freight, which I did not see.
Right around the corner.
He's like, either you broke down or you're getting lunch. And I'm like, nah, we're getting lunch, And I'm in the truck. I'm in the truck with the kid. She's going to go get the food. And so then I just hop out of the truck and I'm bullshitting with Frank, And I'm like, nah, man, I'm making good time. And he's like, yeah, you are. And blah, blah, blah. Then I start walking around the trailer, and on the driver's side, back rear tire of the Weekend Warrior, the tire inner well was just completely shot out. You know what I mean?
Bald.
And
nothing to it.
Yeah, there was like nothing to it. And I was like, damn, So I'm on the phone with Frank, and I'm like, damn, that's crazy, man. I'm like, I just got new tires, And he's like, well, you got them like 8,000 miles ago, and you traveled, back and forth. And I'm like, okay, well, that makes sense, And we go to a tire place. And one thing I've noticed by moving out of California is people have a business and just choose not to answer phones.
Yeah.
Or they have
everything's just slower.
An address, and you friggin', you don't even have you're not even there.
Oh yeah.
So we go to a tire place, right?
And nobody was there.
Mind you, like, it's a tight place. I got to
drive
drive up
out,
on the grass, back up, turn around.
Thing.
And so I'm like, well, shoot, this tire company is no longer there. And it's even funnier? It's always like God or odd to me. It's like, maybe they were on lunch.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? And the story wouldn't have been here.
Yeah, I guess.
We wouldn't have been having this story right now. So we go to Danny's tire shop, and back in the trailer, jack it up, and that tire damn near wants to fall off. It's so
wobbling.
bad. It's so bad. The bearing is completely shot out. So Danny's like, all right, we'll take it over to this spot. He Googles a place. And as I'm calling that number, he's like doing this signal, like cut it off. And I'm like, hey, what's up? And he's like, oh, I gave you the wrong number. You need to call Mark Wilcox. This is the guy that works on all my stuff. He's like, I don't even know why I gave you that number, but whatever.
Other number,
that was like the first number that came up, and he just wants to help out. He wants to be helpful because the family's in the truck and all that stuff. All right, cool. We call Mark.
No answer.
I call, Elise calls, no answer. So I'm like, well, shoot, we're kind of like stuck here. So we got to figure it out. So once again, we're just driving to.
We just drive over there.
Mind you, I'm like putting now. Like, hazards are on. Like, I'm just worried that the tires down there are going to fall off. So we pull up to Mark's spot, and it just so happened he was at lunch, but just got back from lunch, and he was riding a Harley Davidson. And I'm like, already in my head, I'm like, perfect, he's like one of us. And I go in there, and we literally, before we even talked about the trailer, we're just chopping it up, talking about Harleys. I actually want to get Mark on the show too, because this man bought a Pan America, and rode from Arkansas to the top of Alaska and back. And he got.
How do you ride to Alaska? Isn't it?
You ride through Canada.
Oh my God!
And
wow.
so he had to.
Schooling.
So he, he always keeps that thing on him, and he had to get Canada to approve him to have his pistol and bring it across.
That's so
lines.
weird.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's going to be a cool story. Hopefully, Mark has a crazy story too. He witnessed his mom getting shot by his dad. Remember, he was telling us that story.
No.
Yeah. So it's. Yeah, anyways, I'll try to get him on the show. But, because that would just be a really good fucking show.
Yeah.
Anyways, and so we're chopping up about motorcycles, having a good time. And I'm like, hey, mind you, let me back up a little bit. We were leaving my mom's house, and we made a decision because we called Frank and said, hey, we want to go look at this property in Tennessee. Could you watch the dog a little bit longer and we'll be home? And he's like, no problem.
Yeah.
So we were on the way to Tennessee to look at this property that we've been looking at for months.
Yes.
Right? And so back to the story. So Mark brings the trailer over, lifts it up, boom. Not only is the bearing shot out, the leaf spring to that tire is completely gone. It's on the friggin' frame of the trailer. And, you know, I just will never forget this. He's like, dude, you're real lucky that you got to me, man, because you could have flipped this thing, you know? And trust me, you know, my company's LFG. We get after it. When we're driving and flying, we're going.
I realize he's a psycho driver. I drove behind him on the way here.
Allegedly.
Oh my God. Allegedly. I was like, wow, you literally almost hit a semi on our way here.
You know what I'm saying? Allegedly. I mean, Jesus, what are you working for the cops or something?
It's the truth. I watched it happen.
All right. Well, anyways, so we take the tire off. You know, he owns the RV. He owns the RV place, right? Where he fixes RVs, and he just didn't have the right parts, I guess. The Weekend Warrior has a different bearing set, and I don't know. I think he went to the parts store like 3 different times.
He went to like 3 different AutoZone, O'Reilly's.
Yeah.
He was getting car bearings that would match up with like the bearings that we needed. It was a lot.
Yeah, it was crazy, right?
It was wild. He was just trying to get us back on the road.
Yeah, he was just literally trying to get us back on the road. We were telling him that we're looking at property, and he was just like, man, I've been to a lot of places, but this is home, here. And of course, like, we didn't know anything about Russellville, Arkansas at all. And so we end up staying there all day, because I finally, at 9 o'clock, I was just like, hey man, like, if you don't mind, like, we're tapped out, the kids are running amok and they're tired, and could we just go ahead and finish this up tomorrow? And he's like, absolutely. Set me up with water, set me up with electricity.
We
slept in the trailer on his property there. And the next morning we go to breakfast. And what's the breakfast place called? Old South. Shout out to,
super good.
Yeah, to the lady that was our waitress too.
She was really sweet.
Everybody was everybody.
There was a whole vibe going on.
There was definitely a whole vibe going on, and the people were just very kind. I'm in the bathroom washing my hands, and this old timer just comes up and starts talking to me. I mean, I'm sure if I was holding my pecker, some dude would have been like, hey man, you know what I mean? Like, that's just how people are here. They're just super kind and nice. And freaking spider just jumped on me or something.
Really?
What the frick was that?
There's a fly.
Oh, it was?
There's a fly.
Well, you never know here in Arkansas, So, so anyways, after breakfast, we go and start driving.
We were going to go to a playground for the kids.
Right.
Dustin drove right past it.
I just drove right past it, and we're just like, she was like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, let's just go check it out,
Yeah.
And one thing I can tell you, living in Florida for that short amount of time, I really miss seeing mountains. Yeah. Like, I didn't think it was an issue. And when you're and people that live in Florida, or even like the Panhandle and parts of like South Alabama, like the tree lines are so big, it kind of like blocks that out. It's not too flat. There's only a few areas in Florida where it was super flat, and you're like, what the frick,
Yeah.
Where am I at? So being back in the mountains and driving through there, I was just like, man. And by the way, the trees and everything is so green.
It was insane.
We were just.
I had goosebumps like the whole drive. I was like, this is the prettiest I've ever seen in my life.
When we were in Dover?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So we're driving, and we're going to go look at this property that was for sale just for shits and gits, right?
That was after we left. So that was after the trailer. We got the trailer back.
No, this was
Oh,
before.
yeah, we were. We were just looking at it. We weren't going into it. We were just like driving by.
My butthole's puckered up.
Okay.
Well,
you didn't need to say that.
We're talking real shit right here. You know what I mean? This is the LFG show, baby. You know the deal.
Okay.
Get with it or get out. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, this is so beautiful. She was about to cry. She had goosebumps. There's
Yeah, it was
there's
really
cows
about to
there's cows in a pond, and it looks so beautiful and peaceful and stuff. And so
It was just so pretty.
yeah, we went and just like scoped the property out, like without a real estate agent, just kind of drove by to check it out. And of course, the first thing that I noticed was like the storm cellar, you know, like the, you know, friggin' tornado shelter thing. And it was super old. And I'm like, well, definitely, you know, not in Kansas anymore, Toto, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And Elise has a couple videos. Remember like the video of you like going over the bridge and I backed up and, you know, maybe we should
the
play
river.
that right here, you know, too.
I don't know. I'd have to
Yeah,
find
you
it.
can find it.
Yeah.
But, you know, she was just basically saying like, oh my gosh, I just remember you looking at me and you're like dead ass serious and you're like, Dustin, this is the most beautiful place.
Yeah. I was like, this is like fairy tale land. This is like a fairy tale. I can't even believe how beautiful it is. It reminded me a lot of Tennessee, but I've never really been on back roads. And like, well, I guess we had been kind of in Columbia. We were in some of those backwoods and stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember how I thought it was so beautiful there, but it was just like a whole different ballgame in Arkansas. And not to mention, like, since we've been here, I've obviously gone on many Facebook Marketplace escapades. I haven't even told you really about the one that took me down some straight dirt roads with no service. When I got that kitchen, no service, back roads, all dirt, driving really slow. Jeez. Thought I was in a horror movie, but also looking at the most beautiful scenery of my life.
You're in a holler.
I was in the holler, but they were so nice. Of course, they were just the nicest people ever. They were like, we just like to live out of, you know. And I was like, they were like, yeah, we take our ATVs up in I think it was Mount Magazine that I was up by in Dardanelle. Oh. And it was so gorgeous. And every time we get into those back roads here, I mean, it's so quick. You can literally go up the street and get into the back roads. Right. It's insane how gorgeous it is. Insane.
Yeah, so we're all done looking at, you know, what we were looking at.
So we got our trailer. They took very good care of us, which was another weird sign. Like,
well, let me get into that.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we go back, and the trailer's done. So this was like 10 o'clock or 10:30 or something, whatever it was. And Mark's like, hey, come into the office. I want to go over the bill with you just because, you know, there's a lot of stuff on here. This is not normally how we operate stuff. We wanted to take care of you guys. And I'm like, yeah, cool, no problem, you know. Go inside the office, and he's like rattling off these parts, and he's like, hey, I went to 2 different spots to get these bearings, and I'm just going to charge you what I paid for it. I'm like, absolutely. And he was like, I have you down for 3 hours of labor, but I only want to charge you for 2. And I'm like, Mark, charge me for 3.
Yeah.
Like, you guys just did the most. You allowed us to stay here. Like, I'm super grateful, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, man, it's going to be $800 and something, you know? And I'm like, whipped out the credit card. I'm like, here you go. And I'll never ever forget this until the day I die. He like taps the credit card, on the table. And no, it's all right, it's good.
Oh.
And he's like, yeah, man. He's like, God placed you on my heart, you and your family, and your bill's covered. And him saying that, like, he's getting misty-eyed, and I'm like, then of course, like, I'm getting misty-eyed because I've never had that experience ever. Yeah. Never once has somebody just said to me, like, you know what, man, this oil change is on me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Never. I mean, and when I tell you, he had his worker Danny, his son Braden, and himself, all 3 working on my trailer.
All day.
You know what I mean? And like trying to figure this thing out. And the sucker just wouldn't, it just, he had to like.
It was a lot.
He had to make new thread around the bearing and just all this stuff. And, for him to say that, I was just like blown away. And then he just like made me promise him that I would come back and stay at his RV park. And, it was a Thursday night, and he really wanted to take us to a crawfish boil, Mm-hmm. And we, obviously it was so late, he wanted to rip my Harley out and take it, and of course, like I kicked down some merch and stuff, and his son bought a vest that Mark bought for him, and then I gave Braden $100 back to give back to his,
Yeah.
dad, because it's like, man, I'm not going to take your money after you just gave me a free bill,
Yeah.
And then it was just like, I hug Mark and I'm like, damn you, dude, like, man, what a spiritual experience, like
Yeah.
for me, it was just like, man, these are the type of people that I want my family around, want my kids around, I want to be around myself, like genuinely great people.
Yeah.
Great people. And so now we're off. We're good. We're off. We're off to the races. We're going to go check this house out in Tennessee.
But we stopped by a house first.
Oh, you're right.
In Atkins.
Go ahead and please tell that story.
Well, it's important because it's how we met our real estate agents.
Very is important. It's very
There was a house for sale in Atkins, which was just the town right over, and I called the seller's agent and I was like, we're on our way out of town. We wanted to stop by and see this house if we could. And she's like, absolutely. And she came out. It was her and her husband, and Todd and Julie Meimersdorf, and we met them, and we met the owner. She said the owner will be there. He owns like 40 acres. 100 acres.
Yeah, something crazy.
Next to the house.
Something crazy.
So you'll see him. And of course, as soon as we pull up, Dustin sees the owner, starts talking to the owner.
Yeah.
The owner takes us over, me and the kids, over to all
Mind
his
you,
cows.
tells me his whole life story.
Yeah,
too.
tells his whole
like
life.
friggin' raised kids here, and his wife cheated on him.
Oh,
It's just like, oh fuck, just like a whole thing, man. It was just
so
like,
funny.
wow.
But he was so nice.
So
literally
nice.
brought me and the kids, like held Winona or Wyatt's hand over to the cows, let us go see the cows and talk to the cows. His house was beautiful. It was just, I kept taking Dustin down these dirt roads to these houses. I swear, I'm always taking him to these back roads. It was down a pretty narrow dirt road that was just, it was pretty far out. And then on the way out too, there was just a lot of houses that were really, how would you say?
Ghetto.
Yeah.
Ghetto.
Well, there was just a lot of old trailers, a lot of methy looking things going on.
It was just a lot of meth
on the way
going on.
to the house, and we were like, I don't know if we could drive through this every day,
Nah. Beautiful
and
house,
then,
beautiful property.
Yeah,
I mean,
there was
the
a little pond, and we saw a snake, and that was a lot too, right there.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, I don't know about that. I do wish though he had a pool. Remember, it was a nice house, but anyways, and the land wasn't exactly what we were looking for. It was a little more wooded, and anyways, so that's where we met our real estate agents, and they were amazing. And then we were on to Tennessee.
Yeah, we stayed in RV Park, went to look at the property, and I think, without Elise and I saying it, we both were feeling like, not like we're making a bad decision, but just like we really should explore Arkansas more.
Yeah. Well, we saw this house, and like I tried to like hype myself up when we were inside the house. I'm like, oh my God, there's another bedroom. Like they didn't even put that on there. No, it was just, they were all the same size. All the rooms were tiny. It was a cookie cutter house. It smelled like a manufactured home, like nothing wrong with that. But you could just tell like this was just a very cookie cutter, basic house. It wasn't that big. But I was like trying to hype myself up. Like it wasn't a fenced property. It was not what I would have wanted. And I think that...
Yeah, the shop was beautiful. It was like...
Yeah.
One of those steel buildings, concrete, great. I'm like, sick, right? Zero electricity running to it. And I'm just like, damn, dude.
Yeah, I ran through it.
I mean, now that I know a little bit more, like that's all fixable stuff, it's fine, but at the same time, it's like, I just didn't really want to move into something, well, here we are here, you know what I mean? Like I wanted to move into something that's like a little turnkey, but, this place is not turnkey. I mean, the house is great. The shop, not so much, but we're working it out. But, yeah, I mean, so
we just didn't,
and honestly,
we both kind of knew. I think I liked it at first, and I was trying to get myself to like it, and we hung out there forever and met the neighbors and everything.
Yeah.
And I think that we went to lunch right after, pretty much. We explored a little bit, and then we went to lunch in Lebanon. And we both made the decision like right then and there.
We went to Smithville. Smithville was cool.
Yeah, but we both made the decision right then and there that was not it.
Yeah,
it was.
I think really what lunch really did for us too was, there was a lot of similarities of California.
Oh, I could just feel like California vibes.
Yeah,
in their little town.
And I feel like I know people that live in Nashville, and it would have been a great fit like for the brand and for myself and stuff. But I just know like, shoot, I know like probably 10 people from California that live in Nashville now. You know what I mean? And so I feel like eventually it's going to, maybe the next 5 years, like you're going to see like a little trickle effect. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? I don't know.
It definitely is.
When you start seeing blue-haired and rainbow flags and stuff everywhere, man, like all cards are off. You never know. So
yeah, there was just a lot going on that I feel like I wanted something different then. So we were so close. I had to go see my good buddy Taylor from Shifter Crew, and he lives 3 hours away in Kentucky. From Nashville, yeah.
From Nashville, and so we just made it a day and a night to go up there, and we parked the trailer up there, and we were able to see his beautiful house that he has, and immediately Taylor was like, Nashville's out, let me show you around Kentucky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he drove my truck and was just showing me all these things. And
we looked at a few houses. We looked at that one open house that was like right next to his, and then his next door neighbor too.
Yeah.
That was also for sale.
And honestly, like Kentucky is absolutely beautiful. Like the people there are rad. Like Taylor I just went and did a friggin' bike night that was just awesome. You know what I mean? Shout out Craig and Cody. You guys are fucking awesome people. And that whole community out there is so sick, And, it just really, I'm not saying that wasn't for us, but there was something that was just drawing us back, dude. Like just pulling us back to Arkansas,
Well, it was one of those things where it was like, okay, so obviously Tennessee, like, okay, once we left Arkansas on the way to Tennessee, at least for me, I felt super bummed. Like I was like not excited to go to Tennessee anymore. I was like, I didn't have that like giddy feeling of like going to Tennessee. Like what happened in Arkansas completely killed Tennessee.
Yeah.
And so that was like strike number one. That was like God's like little jab number one. And then Tennessee was so funny because that house that we looked at was on the market for so long. And the day we went and saw it, someone else happened to see it at the same on the same time.
And was going to put an offer in.
And told us he was going to put an offer in. And so it was one of those things where it was like God was literally right in front of us, like, you know what I mean? If you want it, you need to put an offer in. But like, you know that it's the wrong choice. Like, that because you can feel it, because I'm telling you. And it was just so funny. Like now that I look back at that, I'm like, God's so funny. He's just so silly. He's like, he just puts things in front of you. And then same thing in Kentucky, like with the next door, with so many available homes right near Taylor.
Yeah.
And him giving us those options, and us still not, because like we're kind of impulsive. Like we're kind of like, well, we could make this work type thing. Right. You know what I mean?
Well, Taylor's neighbor's house would have been fucking awesome. If it would have been
pretty cool.
For you, if it would have been maybe a little bit bigger, the layout would have been different.
Well, I didn't like the land.
And more acreage.
Yeah, I didn't like
It probably would have been something. So here's another thing to back it up. Elise, this was her stake in the ground, like not going to have any sort of questions about it. Like we've gotten to fights about this.
Yeah.
I want nothing more than 2 acres.
Nothing less
than 2 acres.
Nothing.
And
because it's like, what's the point?
That was really difficult because the price point that we were looking at, what we can afford.
Yeah.
Elise thinks that we can afford, $800,000 in Kentucky, or something like that. So the thing about it is.
No, it was just the right property. You know what I mean? Like I wanted it to be fenced for the most part. Otherwise, we'd have to fence it. And, it was just, there were things, but it was funny. Like God kept putting these droplets out. Like here's a house literally next door to Taylor's house that is available. Here's another house that's right next to Taylor's house right here that's also available and looks like a 70s ranch home, and
but on the road, on the road.
But it was on the road. There was always little things though that like were wrong with them. But but they were options, that God put in front of us, which is so funny. Mm-hmm. But yet we still kept going back to Arkansas, which is funny. There were no houses that we had seen yet in Arkansas that we were like on the fence about. Like we had all of these options in front of us still. Tennessee still could have been an option if we wanted it to be, Yeah. But then Dustin found this house in Russellville. And we were looking all over Arkansas, by the way.
Yeah, so like on Zillow, we were. Oh, it's funny also too, the very nice lady the waitress, she talked about Hot Springs. And
she's like, yeah, need to go
after
check out
she
Hot
found
Springs.
out that we're from California, because we said that, she was like, oh, well then you guys probably, you don't, not saying you don't belong here, but like you guys would probably like this more.
Yeah.
Because it's way more diverse.
It's Hot Springs. It's like the oldest resort,
yeah,
one of the oldest resort towns. It's very bougie.
It's probably bougie and all this stuff. And I found that kind of funny. It's like, man, you're judging a book by its character, for sure,
By its cover?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just know that after we said California, she was like, y'all need to go check out Hot Springs. Yeah.
Is that what you are?
Which we still need to check out Hot Springs, but.
Yeah. So anyways, on Zillow, you can only search for the things that you're looking for, right? So I just dropped down to 1 acre, and I'm thinking, hopefully, when I'm doing this, literally my thought process was like, maybe she can compromise and that we can get like 1.5 acres. She's already seen what an acre is, which an acre is a lot of land still. And literally the first house that comes back to Russellville, that comes in to where I see, the first house that I pick was this house. And Elise has always wanted a farmhouse, or she's always said that would be great to have one. Has a wraparound porch. It has a shop in the back. It's on 1.92 acres.
1.97. So it was basically 2 acres.
Yeah, it's basically 2 acres.
Insane.
And we're still at Taylor's house, by the way, too. And we literally call.
No, he hands me. He's like, here's your farmhouse. Here's your dream farmhouse that you've always wanted. And I start like looking through, and I start picking it apart, and I'm like, well. The downstairs, the master bedroom, the bathroom is the bathroom that everybody would have to use because it's the only bathroom downstairs. However, our master bedroom has its own door to the bathroom, and then in the hall, there's another door to the bathroom. So it's not like people would have to go through our bedroom to get in the bathroom. I just thought it was like kind of funky how it was set up. And I was picking it apart, and then I start really looking at it, and I'm like, wait a second. I'm like, I think this is my house. Like, I'm really looking at it, and I'm like, this is like my white, this is like, I was like, do you see the front of this house? Like, this is a farmhouse, like it has a wraparound porch. Like, this is on basically 2 acres. Like, this is so weird. I was just like so tripped out about it. And I was like, we need to see this house.
And just to like talk about the house for a minute too, it's been completely remodeled. From top to bottom. Geez, I can't even think right now. The bottom of the fucking house.
Oh, down there you mean?
Yeah.
Like it was a carport?
No. I'm talking about the underneath of the house.
Oh,
underneath the foundation. I don't even know. Whatever. It's all
the crawl space?
Thank you.
Oh,
the
all
crawl
the way down
space.
to the crawl
That's why I have
space,
you on here, dog. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I have the whole crawl space has been completely remodeled too, but there's plastic everywhere, and it's
there's like electricity down there. Like
it's like fully done up. The only thing that they had not worked on was the shop, and I'll get into that after we talk about that. But here's the thing. So this was the first house we called Julie and Todd right away, and she made an appointment. She FaceTimed Elise. And that was pretty much it. She was just like, this was it,
Yeah, she FaceTimed me. We were still in Kentucky at Taylor's. She FaceTimed me, did a walkthrough of the house. I was like, okay. And I got off the phone with her, and I looked at Dustin, and I literally started crying. And I was like, this is the house. And we have to go see it. Yeah. We have to go back. I can't buy a house and not like have walked in it. It's just not realistic for me to do something like that.
Yeah. And so here we go. We're calling Frank again. Hey, gonna watch the dog one more time?
Oh, yeah, I called Frank, and I was like, please watch the dog for a little bit longer.
Whatever. So now we have been gone for a month. Mm-hmm. And so here we go. We're in Kentucky.
Wait, we have to talk about the license plate thing.
Oh, yeah, baby. Talk dirty to me.
Okay, so on the way... Well, this is really your story, but...
You can tell it. Okay. I've been talking this whole time. You haven't been saying... You're not a very good co-host, by the way.
Okay, well, anyway, so we were leaving Nashville, driving to Kentucky, and Dustin... And we haven't... Okay, when we were in Nashville, we weren't talking about Arkansas, like, that much. Like, we had brought it up a few more times, like, maybe we should look or whatever. But I guess Dustin was like really thinking about Arkansas still a lot. Like obviously what happened really affected him, And we were driving up to Kentucky, okay, and he's telling me this story, right? He's telling me this story when we're leaving Kentucky on our way back to Arkansas. He's telling me how he's like, oh, I didn't really tell you this, but when we were driving from Nashville to Kentucky, I asked God, like, give me a sign that I should be looking in Arkansas. Like, give me something because I can't stop thinking about Arkansas. And within 30 minutes, boom, Arkansas license plate. And like Dustin's thing is license plates. Like it's like
when we were first getting ready to move to Florida in San Diego, I would see Florida plates all over the place. And I'm like, what the frick? This is so weird.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's just weird. And it's like, yeah, obviously something that I'm going to start identifying. Like, okay, I'm going to Florida. Now I'm seeing Florida plates.
Yeah.
But it was just like weird. Like all the way in San Diego, and I'm seeing like multiple Florida plates. And I was just like, what? This is so bizarre. And then being in Kentucky on the 65, almost a Taylor's house, boom, after I'm like praying inside of my head about this, showing me a sign, and it was just like, tag, here's a friggin' Arkansas plate, which is not like crazy.
No,
Arkansas
it's not that far.
Is literally, it's right next to Kentucky. It's not like it's,
it's right there.
It's really, it's not a shocker, you know what I mean? But
no, but it's still like it was a sign for you because you were thinking about that. Mm-hmm. So then when we left Kentucky, we're on our way back to Arkansas to come and look at the house. He's telling me this story, and in my head,
let me tell her. Let me say this though, and then I'll let you finish. I say to her, "Hey, I got to tell you something, but I know that you're going to make fun of me because I'm the license plate guy." And she's probably like rolling her eyes or whatever. And I start telling her this story, and I told her basically everything she just said. And in my head, as you're telling me this story, in my head, I'm like, oh, how cool would that be if God sent me a sign that Arkansas like is where we're supposed to go. Like I'm just thinking about this because, to me, I'm like, Arkansas, like what? This is so crazy. But like in my head, I'm like, that would be cool if God did that for me. I crap you not, there were no cars around us. Mm-mm. For some reason. Like there was no cars in front or in back of us. And the first car to go by after I had this thought was an Arkansas license plate. And I pointed at the plate and I yelled, Arkansas! Like I couldn't even believe it. I could not even believe that we were talking about this. I was thinking about this, and then boom, Arkansas license plate drives by us. Yeah.
I just couldn't even. It was, and obviously we both knew like that was a God shot. Like we just knew like God was sending signs because it was just too much. There was no coincidence. Like there was too.
Yeah, there's definitely no coincidence.
Yeah. So yeah, and then we drove all the way here, got here, stayed at Mark's RV park.
Yep.
Got to meet Braden's wife and her two kids, who are Wyatt and Winona's age, 6. Well, now he's 7 and almost 5. So they're a little bit older than them, but they meshed perfectly.
Yeah.
Got to go to a crawfish boil.
Yeah, baby.
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
And when we came and looked at the house, I walked through it in 2 seconds, and I was like, yeah. I didn't even need to really walk through the whole thing. I was like, as soon as I walked in the door and I just walked to the back, I think I was like, yeah. The wraparound porch really did it. It was that one that really did something to me right there. And it's fenced. Like the fence needs more fencing, but it's fenced. For the most expensive part about it. And it was just like. The only thing that I was tripped up about was that the kids' rooms were upstairs, but that has not even been a single issue ever at the whole time we've been here.
Yeah, we just got to teach them not to run up the stairs and do all the things, but
it was an easy yes for me.
I walked the shop, so I'm getting into that now, and like I did see some water damage. There's clearly some flooding that happened. There was electricity in there, but there was just not enough, which I know how much power that I need. And I'm like, okay, well, I could fix that. But, all of these signs just are not, there's no coincidence. And so I just said, cool, let's just do it, I'll just figure it out. And that's basically what we're doing now with the shop and the house. You know, you have this house that's dialed in. It looks so great. And
it's not too girly for you.
no, it's not. It's grandma. It's like, it's nice. It's very cozy. It's very nice.
It
It's
is
like all
cozy.
modern stuff.
You know,
You know, and then we have like this old touch of stuff.
oh, this house was like the most perfectly updated. What's even crazier is I'm not even kidding you, is like I asked God, whatever house you give me, update it just enough. Update it just enough for me to where it's updated, like there's new doors, or like, you know, there's crown molding, there's good baseboards, like, you know, update it just enough, but leave me some oak cabinets, or leave me some wood like that was literally what I said in my head. Leave me wood cabinets.
Yeah.
I want, and the house has the most perfect colored wood cabinets, the most perfect colored wood cabinets, and all the hardware in the whole house matches, which to me, I really like. I would say, like, you know, Bethany, she's real like grandma core, but like she likes a lot of stuff everywhere, and I'm more like an organized stuff everywhere. I'm very, you know, so I really like that all of the wood's the same color. I like that all of the hardware's black, you know, like, I mean, I would love to change out hardware
pretty
or
much
whatever,
a slam dunk. Pretty much is this
but like
a slam,
all the
this
hardware's
is
black.
slam dunk.
The fans with the lights, they all match. I mean, I would change lighting out in the kitchen, put can lights in, stuff like that, like little stuff like that, no big deal. But I mean, new, like perfectly updated, new countertops in the kitchen, in the bathrooms, new hardware, new doors, but just all white, like perfectly enough for me to do what I want to do with it now. You know, it's kind of insane.
Yeah. So here's the deal.
And they added on the back.
They what?
They added on.
Yeah.
This was a tiny little house before they added on the back living room area.
So I mean, all these pieces were just placed, and for the first time in my life, I'm just following God, and literally He's leading me here. And I just got reminded of that today. You know, like I'm out in the garage and I'm doing some stuff, and I bought too much paint, and it was just an immediate thing where it's just like, dude, I got you. You know what I mean? You're gonna do this entire thing, and you're gonna make this shop yours. You know.
Yeah.
In the way that you want it for the first time ever, because, you know, since I've been here, I picked up my handy skills again. You know, as much as I can do, and you know, it's saving money. But man, I'm just super grateful. Like, there's so many great things that are gonna come out of this. Like, they're already happening now. Like, I'm super close to a lot of friends. I need to get connected here, and I know that there's a motorcycle community. So if you're listening to the show, please DM me at LFG1904, and like, let's get it on. You know. Yeah,
you definitely need to do a bike night here.
Yeah, I mean,
or
I'm
like
just, you know, traveling. My next show that I'm doing, I have Second Strike. I'm doing that at Murfreesboro Harley Davidson in Tennessee, and then I literally come home for 3 days, and then we go to the Laguna Seca, and I'm doing a slow race. You know, and I mean, what a blessing that.
Are you driving to Laguna Seca?
I am.
Wow.
Yeah, and
that's insane.
You know, Jordan from Hot Bike Magazine, he definitely just like slam dunked this whole thing for us. And
I thought you were flying there and Noel was picking up.
Nope.
Are you taking the small trailer?
Yep.
Okay, that's good. I'd rather you take the small one than the big one.
You know, here's the thing, man. Like, you know, just one foot in front of another, like being in recovery this long, and you know, things are just like starting to kind of work out. We definitely need to get back into some basics for us, you and I, right now.
Yeah, I definitely think that.
We both are having like dreams of using or thoughts of using, and
the thoughts. I always get them randomly, but you know, sometimes.
Yeah, you're saying like, oh, a glass of wine is okay to do now.
No, that's not what I was saying. You did. The thoughts come through my head sometimes where I'm like, what if we did do that? And then I was literally with you. I was on the trampoline laying next to you thinking about this. But it's like how our brain just goes through scenarios, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it just went through the full scenario. And I was like, why would I ever want to do that? You know, but sometimes I think the thoughts creep in when, like, more so that since I've moved, you know, because I'm not around anybody. So like those little thoughts, the devil likes to come in and just like ping at you, like, nobody would know, you know? Like, why would I want to do that though?
Yeah.
No, I would literally rather go to a meeting here, like a AA meeting, and meet people and get connected with people here. I'd rather do that. I want to like make community, not, you know, at church too. Like I want to go to church, and we already know our real estate agents who are amazing, already go to a church, and, you know.
Yeah, I mean, staying, you know, clean and sober is not for the weak, you know. So that's why people, you know, come in and out, and you know, you just gotta maintain and just keep on, you know, trusting the process and stuff. But
oh yeah, we had to trust the process through the whole escrow process. It was the most. It was terrifying.
LFG 1904 bought this house, so I thank you for everybody that's bought a shirt and, you know, listened to the podcast and supported me like throughout the 6 years that LFG has been here. And
we quite literally bought this house because of LFG. We did a bank statement loan. We did not do a conventional W-2 type of loan. We did a bank statement loan based on how much money we've made in the last year with LFG and the print shop, and that's what bought this house. Yeah. It's insane to think about, but it was a lot of hurdles, but it was like stupid hurdles. It was just like, you need this from a tax guy. And
I guess what we're saying is like, thank you guys for buying us this house.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, as weird as that sounds.
No, literally, it's my dream home.
I mean,
you guys bought it for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty special. So I just enjoy doing this, and so, you know, I just don't, you know, I want to touch on the new sponsor thing, Shark Law. Like that's another thing that happened to where, you know, I'm sitting.
Stop doing that.
Doing what?
You're scratching with your toe and you can hear it. That is disgusting. Knock that off.
So I, you know, things with Law Tigers didn't work out, and I still have a lot of friends that work with them, and you know, it's a fantastic company. So I'm not going to ever say anything bad about them. I can't. They helped me get to where I'm at today. You know.
Yeah, we just have different roads that we go on sometimes.
And
that's all.
And so it's just funny, like I'm having this conversation with Rebecca, that's the CEO of Shark Law. And I get off the phone with her, and the very next day, bam, somebody calls me with a slam dunk case. My friend, Aaron Schlim Dog, what's up, big dog? He calls, he has my number, but he Facebook messaged me. And he was like, "Hey, you still working with Law Tigers?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. What's up?" And he was like, "Yeah, so my coworker went down and blah blah blah, and like it was a whole thing, like a DUI, and you know, it was a slam dunk case. Bam, that happened. And then, you know, another friend gets hit on an e-bike in San Diego. Boom, and you know, and then, you know, one of my good friends, Joe, just went down, and it's a pretty bad crash too. And I'm just really grateful to, you know, help him. And that's really what it comes down to, is like, you guys trust me, you know, of the companies that I work for. And if you're ever in, you know, and another thing about Shark Law that's really cool is like they're a complete personal injury lawyer. You know, so it's like a dog bite, a friggin' car accident, whatever the case is, like they're going to handle it and get it done. And what do we got? A special guest here, huh?
It's my dog.
And
It's my dog.
yeah. And so, you know, thank you guys for trusting me and allowing me to like really help you get back on the road and, you know, get through some recovery. And, you know, that's like the most beautiful thing. It's like, I didn't even have to announce that I'm with or without a company. Like you all just reach out to me, you know, and, you know, I just really appreciate that, you know, because, you know, that also helps my family and it helps this podcast. And it's like the little things like that. It's like nobody ever wants to get into a motorcycle accident. Like nobody wants to get into a car accident, you know, but at the end of the day, it's like a simple process. Like the insurance company literally just wants to fuck you over. Like 1,000%, they want to just, they're going to take as little, you know, as little or much as they can. And it's going to be a bare minimum thing. And you have, you know, it's just really important to have, you know, attorneys that are going to have your best interest. And man, I'm super stoked on this company. This company has been really, really rad to me so far. So I'm like really grateful. I just did my first video for Born Free, and like they seem to really like it. And I'm like, man, I'm just getting warmed up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I told, Brady, he's like the operations manager for the company. And I'm like, man, you got to get Taylor on board, because once that is, it's like lights out. Him and I are like fucking stepbrothers, baby.
Yeah.
Like, get us into a board meeting and we'll fuck it up. Yeah. Like, it's like, but at the end of the day, it's like, anything that I brought to the table, like, I'm damn sure going to get it back. And, I want, it's funny, like I do one video and my DMs were blowed up, people asking questions like, what's going on with here? And, I told Rebecca, I said, look, I'm not like some big shot or whatever, but like when you're a leader, proudly say that I'm a leader, like people are going to want to follow and they're going to want to do the same thing, and I'm the same way. I get led by people all the time, what I mean? Like I'm not just like some cocky ego maniac, like there's things that people do and I'm like, damn, I want to do that and I'm going to follow them, Yeah. But, it's proof's in the pudding. It's like people are reaching out and they're like, talk to me about it. What's going on? How could I get a part of it? Like, whatever that case may be. But so my conversation with her is, I was like, hey, like, I can promise you, like, this is going to like cause a ripple effect and people are going to want to know and, what's the deal? So, and she was like, yeah, I'm willing to have conversations with people, but I just have to make sure that our infrastructure is like ready for it,
Yeah.
Because
I mean, they've been really great. Yeah. I like them.
Fantastic. Anyways, yeah, Laguna Seca, Hot Bike Magazine, LFG, sponsored by Shark Law, and we're going to have some insane slow races going on. So if you're hearing this and you want to, participate, there's going to be a cash prize, a belt buckle, tons of other giveaways. Saddleman Seats is going to be giving us a gift certificate for the winner. It's just going to be a banging ass time. We're going to do the shows 1 p.m. and I think 12 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. The times are really not locked in yet because of racing. You never know what happens. But so if you're in Monterey, you're going to Laguna Seca, come and say hi. I'm going to have some merch there. A lot of people. I'm just super grateful for this community. I had this guy come up to me, and I had multiple people come up to me and ask me where my booth was. But like one guy, he's not on social media, and he saw me in the Shifter Crew booth, and he was just like, "Yo, dude. Where's your booth at? Like, I came to buy a shirt." You know what I mean? I'm like, well, you can buy one online. I helped them out online, but a lot of people don't want to use online. They just want to shop right now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And he was like, yeah, I came here just to buy a new shirt for myself and my dad. And I'm like, well,
definitely got to do that next year.
We'll see you next year. Yeah, I'll be back at Born Free, please. I'll be at all the things. I've been completely only limited to certain things. That made the most sense, but now that we're established, we're here in Russellville, Arkansas, Daddy got a new truck and we're going to use it and we're going to be at every single show. Same thing though, Sturgis, Four Corners.
I will not be at Sturgis this year.
All the things, So, yeah. Here's the deal. New sponsor. New house. Anything else you want to talk about?
No.
We got some cool drops that we're gonna do pretty soon.
Yeah, I literally have a few. I have a few drops that I want to do. So.
Yeah, I'm doing a whole 70s, 80s drop. That's gonna be pretty cool. Just
I'm ready
old
for my
biker
2-piece
saves.
drop.
Yeah. So, anyways, look for that, you guys. But other than that, man, I appreciate once again, man. I love and appreciate you guys, and your guys' support is just unbelievable.
Yeah. We're just getting cozy and comfy here. Just a lot of adjustment, but
Yeah. So anyways, if you are in the Arkansas, Russellville area, tap in. You know what I mean? I want to know where some stunt lots are at.
Or even like Fayetteville or
Well, I already
Smith
know. I already know that those areas up there. They already have like a. They have a great scene up there. They have a great scene. I'm talking about right here, Russellville, Arkansas.
Yeah.
So if you're listening or watching or however you do it, if you read Braille, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, tap in. You know what I mean? I want to know where stunt lots are at. I want to know where the scene is. I want to know where people are at. And, if there's anything that I could do to, help out, like I'm just a tool. You know what I mean? Help me. Put me to work. You know what I mean? I want to help this community and grow, just like with everybody. So, but yeah, baby. Shark Law motorcycle attorneys. Bam! Y'all know that deal, baby. Is it?
That's it.
All right, Woolsies are out. Psych, loser.